So in this video, I'm gonna go over with you some of the dog parks in and around the Hell's Kitchen neighborhood in Manhattan. Overall, I would say that I think that Hell's Kitchen is a pretty good neighborhood to have a dog in. Now, there are some streets that can get really busy in Hell's Kitchen, and it might be a little bit hard to walk your dog, but there are also a lot of good, quieter streets and also the waterfront where you can walk your dog as well in the neighborhood. So overall, there are 4 dog parks in the neighborhood. So the first one I'm gonna talk about is probably my favorite, to be honest, which is gonna be the Pier 84 dog park, and it's right on the waterfront. So I would say that this dog park is relatively big, and there's a lot of room for multiple dogs to be there. Now, I would say that it does kind of get a little bit busy, but when you compare it to some dog parks in other neighborhoods, it doesn't get extremely busy. But there are quite a few dogs that go there at the same time. So this dog park does have like a water feature as well, which I know some dogs absolutely love and kind of like take over the water feature. And also, I think that the seating here is relatively good. Some dog parks you go to, there's just like no seating for owners whatsoever, and you're kind of just standing around or like sitting on a little like ledge that's not really a seat. But this dog park does have good seating as well, so it's kind of like comfortable for the owners. And also, you're on the waterfront, and I love going to dog parks on the waterfront because you can just sit there and enjoy the view and enjoy being outside while your dog is having a great old time. So the next one is going to be the Silver Tower Dog Park. Now, this one is going to be down on 42nd Street, so depending on where you live in the neighborhood, you will have to walk down to 42nd Street. But I do say it's a really good dog park. It also gets very crowded. And why is that? It's because it's literally in between 3 very large high-rise buildings that has a lot of residents. And because of that, all the people that live in those buildings, plus other people in the neighborhood, all come to that dog park. It's specifically in between Silver Towers and also the River Place building. And like I said, this dog park can get really crowded. And sometimes it is a little too crowded. I actually used to live in the River Park building years ago. And it's funny, I didn't have a dog, but I used to walk by the dog park all the time. And I used to just see how crowded it was. I have heard of some dog fights happening in that park. Now, it's gonna happen at dog parks, unfortunately. You always have to be careful. But sometimes when there's just too many dogs, you're just kind of like asking for trouble. So just be aware of that. I do think it's a really great park for dogs, but sometimes it just can get really crowded. So think about when you're going there. If you're going during like prime hours on like a beautiful Saturday afternoon, then there's probably just gonna be a ton of people there, so just keep that in mind. The next one is a little strange, I would say. So this one is called Astro's Dog Run. It's over on 10th Avenue and 39th Street. Now, this dog run is not the best by any means. If you're walking by it, you can just walk by it and honestly not even really notice it's a dog run at all. I've actually done that before until my husband has pointed out and being like, what is this? And I'm like, oh, I didn't even know this existed here. And we're gonna put up some pictures so you can see what I'm talking about in this video. I say it's weird because it's kind of like in this busy, congested traffic area where people are like coming from Jersey or going on the tunnel. It's very strange. I don't think I would personally bring my dog there. I also have 2 very small dogs, so they would definitely not like that. I guess if you have a bigger dog who has a lot of energy, they maybe wouldn't care as much. I don't know. I just don't really like having like a dog park near like this big traffic area. I just find it weird. It seems very secure. It's just not my favorite location. It's also just like not fun for like owners to be there, especially when you're comparing it to like the Pier 84 waterfront dog park that I was talking about, which is like a great time for owners. So now we're gonna go to North Hell's Kitchen because all these dog parks I've talked about don't really service North Hell's Kitchen if you live all the way almost on the border of the Upper West Side. So the DeWitt Clinton Park also has a dog run there, and I haven't been there personally with my dog, but it seems like a decent dog park. And like I said, it's very convenient for all those upper North Hell's Kitchen buildings that are right over there because there are a few over there as well. So I hope this helped you understand the dog parks in and around Hell's Kitchen. Now, like I said before at the beginning of this video, this neighborhood is pretty good for dogs. As you can see, pretty much all of these answers that I gave you today are in Hell's Kitchen, technically. I guess the strange one that I talked about technically isn't really in Hell's Kitchen, but it's right near it. You don't really have to go too far for dog parks in the neighborhood. So if you guys would like to share your experience at any of these dog parks or have any questions about any of the dog parks in the neighborhood, please leave them in the comments because as always, I love hearing from you guys.